Welcome to Stitch Along Friday, which I have stream every Friday morning at 9:30 Pacific Daylight Time, and from the Victoria Sampler Facebook group. Just so those of you who are not aware, this is where I come from. I just wanted to welcome all of you to this morning here in Victoria, or Sydney, which is where I live, just north of Victoria. We have just got our first early morning summer rain, and we're all very grateful because it's been dry, and there are forest fires that are very close to some people, and we're very concerned about them, and we're hoping that this rain will help. It's not really pouring rain, but it is wet, which is also very good. Somebody is helping us, hopefully, to douse that fire up near Port Alberni. Lisa, I know that I'm definitely thinking about you, so hopefully you know that that's the case. Those of you who are north, I think Kathleen is north. There's a couple of other people that I know that live north of here, and there's two fires right now, and one of them is still out of control. So we're kind of hoping that things will go well. So a good morning to all of you, and I'm going to see if there's anyone here yet. There will be, I know. It's amazing how long you have to wait before the stream actually gets to you, and that you can actually comment, and that I see your comments. So I do know that you're there, though, because I can see that there are a number of viewers, and that there's already one comment. Oh, there it is. Marty, good morning. It's very good to see you from the DAX. And I hope things are good there too. I know that heat dome has been over our area on the west coast for some time, so I assume it's moving east like it tends to do. That's the way the weather goes, and I'm hoping that won't last too long for you all. Good morning, Tedra from Phoenix. Yes, exactly. You should be getting the storm today. Lisa started her where she is, which is just north of here, maybe 150 kilometers north of here. Her rain started the day before, and now my rain is here, and so we're sending it down to Phoenix. It's hopefully it's going to be a good one and not too many lightning strikes. Good morning, Marcia Buckingham from Dallas. I know that it must be warm there. Donna Granger from sunny Berkeley. It's still sunny there, but I expect you'll be getting a storm as well. Hopefully, those of you who are in any kind of danger from forest fires, which is all across the North American continent, I hope that you stay safe and listen to your alerts so that you know when to leave and if to leave even. So that's all. Just while people are coming in, I'm going to give you my weather report on this end of the world. I'm so happy to see all that rain, and the breeze that's coming in is cool for a change. We've had some pretty hot days here. Well, hot here means somewhere around 85, 90. So that's really hot here. So I guess so. But we've had a drought, so that makes all the difference. So good morning to all of you, and let's see who else is here. Let's see, there's a few more people here. Yeah, Susan Randall, hello. Still hot and humid, but really blue skies. Awesome. North Carolina must be a beautiful place right about now. I'm sure it is humid. There's Lisa. That's who I was waiting for, just to make sure she's still there. Lisa, I was talking a little bit about the fact that you have a fire near you, and it's scary to me. I don't know how you're feeling. I hope things go well, and I hope that this rain has helped, even if it's just sprinkly type of rain. Good morning, Dorothy. It's 90 degrees here today, hotter for tomorrow. Yeah, you should be getting the heat dome we've been experiencing as well. Staying in this afternoon, I don't blame you at all. In fact, anyone who stays in during these warm days, actually way too hot days, I empathize. And of course, if you're inside, you can stitch. You can clean, yes, but not too much. Just stitch. That's all we do. I did want to mention that Esmeralda and Francesca are catching up on their blossoms. I think that I released the blossoms a little bit early, so actually people are starting to expect the next blossom, and I think I might be able to release it next week. It's a little early again for September, but I want to be sure that we have enough time to do other things as well. So you may not know my rationale, but I think we're going to get our September blossom next week. If not, then definitely the week after that. Good morning, Jean Morrison and Lynn Molitor. Good afternoon to you. And good morning to Anita Verheyen. Very nice to see you all. Really nice. And I'm glad that you say hello. It always makes me feel good to know who's there. I know that we have viewers, but I don't know who's there until you say something. And of course, there's no pressure. You don't have to say anything. But we just love to see your sunny faces. Lisa says, yeah, the fire's about 5 kilometers away from the edge of South Town. Oh, let's hope it has, because it was 12 kilometers. Now it's 5. Okay, so we're going to cross our fingers. Yeah, Marty, you got a burn ban. So do we. We've had a burn ban all summer. There are lightning strikes that happen in this area. And also we have crazy people. Way too dry, exactly. And we have crazy people, and apparently this one was human started. Someone said it was a car fire, but those are rumors. And someone else said that it was people that were running away from a campfire as fast as they could because they couldn't keep it under control. So I hope they've learned their lesson. And honestly, it's awful what happens with fire, for sure. This is happening more and more during our lifetime. I've never seen too many fires on Vancouver Island, except very far north where there's no danger and we can let the fire have its way with our forests. But things are getting a little close to habitation these days. Everything gets way too dry these days, doesn't it? So Esmeralda, Francesca, good for you for catching up with the blossoms. And also, what I was going to say is that Ellen finished her Valentine cupcakes, which I just saw. Did any of you see those? Really, they were Valentine cupcakes, but she put Christmas trees on them, set off in beads. It's in our Facebook group. And in other words, she changed the pattern slightly. The heart hanger is still the same, but she used Christmas colors and made it into a Christmas ornament, just like that. So it's great to see that kind of inventiveness. Gosh, as I get past, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into that. My words don't always come first thing in the morning, and particularly when I haven't been talking to anyone. And that's the case because I am living on my own here right now. Although I'm expecting Richard to come up very soon. I hope he will. So. I wanted to know if any of you are stitching for Halloween yet. I know it sounds weird, it's in the middle of August, but a lot of people are like preventative stitchers. Instead of seasonal stitching, people will start stitching for Halloween in October, of course. But there are people who start earlier because the projects get to be so big that it takes a while before this project is started and can be ready for Halloween. So I was curious if anyone has started their Halloween or autumn stitching. We'll put it that way, because I've got some autumn pieces here I want to share with you in a little bit. I agree, Marty. Those cupcakes were outstanding. Capitals. Ellen says, good morning. Ellen, honestly, I saw your Valentine cupcakes, and I don't know if you heard me, but I'm so happy to see those. Your inventiveness is legendary. And the fact that you did the one kind of cupcakes and made it into another kind of cupcakes, hats off to you, and congratulations for a wonderful finish. That is adorable. Those little trees with the beads, I just love that. And Lisa says, apparently the fire close to town is the second largest fire we've ever had on the island. I think so, Lisa. I was wanting to say that what else was it? I had you down, Ellen, for some. Oh yes, you also finished Spooky Treats, which was beautiful. That Spooky Treats drum pincushion is really cute, and you made it, and you made it even cuter than we could imagine. Your finishing is exquisite. I mentioned it last week, and I'll mention it again this week. Spooky Treats looks like a drum pincushion, and there's a scene all the way around it. It's very, it's kind of like little kids going trick-or-treating, of course, and that's why it's called Spooky Treats. Anyway, I hope that you know how much I appreciate what you've done. Elizabeth said, I love stitching Halloween or autumn all year round. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I mean, I know there are people who stitch Christmas all year round, but I did not know that Halloween was one of those holidays that, you know, you're fine with stitching anytime. Lynn says, yes, I made a small Halloween ornament the other. So you're starting to stitch Halloween in August. See, I don't know. I used to think that I stitch everything 6 months ahead. I have to, because then it will come to be released around about the time. But the 6 months ahead would have been like October. So that would be, okay, I can't count October back. September, August, July, and then June, May, April. So I would have been starting to stitch something in April, maybe even in March. However, if I were to catch up with you guys and you're already starting to stitch then, I would be stitching Halloween in January, or designing Halloween in January. That's right? So if Halloween things come out now, then it would be interesting to you, because you're already thinking about all the things you can do in Halloween and all the lovely autumn themed kind of things there are. I have to admit, I love autumn. My birth name, my maiden name as they call it, was Herfst, which is Dutch for autumn. And I've always related to autumn as being one of my favorite times, because summer is beautiful, summer is warm, summer is lovely, and then that cool air comes in and starts to turn the leaves and make everything just cool off, basically. And I've always had a real tendency to be too warm. It's in my family, this warmness, and so to have the cool breezes always makes me feel like alive and that I can do things again. So for me, I love autumn, but I had no idea that it was something that people stitch for autumn so much earlier. Let's have a look. You're welcome, Ellen. Lynn, yes, that's right. Brenda, good morning, Stitchers. Good morning, Stitcher. Good to see you. Marty says, I've got 2 Halloween projects in the queue. Hope I can get them done. Okay, so I really have to stand corrected. I had no idea people actually stitched. And probably you would buy a pattern during this time for Halloween rather than waiting until the end of September. I think my next VS project to purchase will be the Pumpkin Farm Sampler. I'm in love with that one, but I have my Biscore nose now too. So many projects. True. And actually that's one of the projects, now that you mention it, I'm going to show it to you. One of the projects that I love for Halloween or for the autumn or for Thanksgiving, it's all around pumpkins here in North America, and all of those holidays, all of those times that are encapsulated by this scene, which is the pumpkin patch sampler. And really the stitching is extremely delicate. I love these little leaves here. Because they're all stitched over one, which, with an overdye just looks fabulous. I did use an overdye in there. You'll see which one I used when you look at the materials list. I'm going to angle this a little bit so that the light strikes it a little bit better. It's dark, I know, but that's because it's reflecting light back into the camera, and the camera automatically adjusts down because it thinks it's too bright. So there are all the cute little pumpkins with even pumpkin pickers and some chickens because they're rooting around. And of course there's that proverbial cat. And then there's the farm wagon in the cornfield with the sunflowers. And it really is just scene after scene to be perfect for autumn. And here's the farm itself, which looks dark, remember, but it's not that dark. And we've got the same little leaves on this, on this side. And of course we've got this gorgeous barn. A lot of these scenes are Christmas. And, a lot of these scenes are cross-stitch, not Christmas. A lot of the scenes that you see here are easily able to be taken out and formed into small frame pieces of any size, really. Like you can take a portion of this, just the house itself would be really cute. I'm looking at my monitor here so I can see what I'm pointing at. But this one here, for instance, you can take a shorter piece like this and just have this section in there, or even just this section, and that would be a really cute little ornament. So you can take scenes out of these, because these are not big motifs. You know, you can get a lot of detail into a small ornament. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about ornaments. They don't have to be ornaments that are already pre-measured for you. You can just measure an inch of this, or a couple of inches of this way and this way, and you'd have yourself a couple of ornaments. I really wanted to talk about that, because I do that also in all my Christmas patterns. Is I take little scenes out, and in my imagination I can make them into a little ornament of whatever size you want. Okay, and let's see. Tammy. Hello, doing a little bit of housework so I can stitch later. Tammy, you're almost done with the lace. Good for you. I'm so proud of you for getting that Bling Tree 2 done. I don't know if you noticed, but right here is my Bling Tree 2. And oh, I better show it to you because it's just been refinished. Well, it wasn't finished for the longest time, so I have to take a good photograph of this, because look at, Lisa has done this just recently, made this into a flat fold with a little ribbon at the bottom so that it doesn't go any farther and doesn't split apart and can stand nicely. And this is how the top looks. As you can see, the finishing is exquisite. And she's put a wonderful blue handmade cording around the piece itself, which is three-dimensional. It sits on top of this dark green fabric, and the effect is perfect. Lisa, you outdid yourself on this one. It really is pretty, and I wanted to make sure that people realized that you had done it finally. And that picture, I've taken the picture, and it's going to go on our PDF. So anyone who has bought a PDF, I'm going to make sure that you get another copy of this, because and I can do that when I change it. When I change the file, in our system, in our automatic system, it says, would you like to send it to previous buyers of this PDF? And I will say yes. Okay, so you all get one. Let's see. I love stitching the Pumpkin Patch Farm, says Lisa. The colors are so much fun. They really are. And they're autumn colors. And whatever linen you put them on, like I put it on quite a dark linen. Really, this is quite dark, this linen. It's not bad by no means, but it's not as fresh as it might be if it was a slight bit lighter in color. Let's see. Elizabeth says, I'm a stitching witch. Yes, I know you are. And love autumn and Halloween projects. Absolutely. You are right. You're the first person that I met that was a stitching witch. And those of you who were in that club actually inspired me to do as much Halloween stitching, because you were so keen when I first met you, Liz. That was so cute. Let's see. Gracie says, look at all those pumpkins in the green row of stitching. I love this piece. It really is pretty. Very much prettier in detail, because as you're stitching it, you get to do all these specialty stitches, which I absolutely love. That green row is, let's see. Yeah, that is a special stitch. Oh, what's that called? Lisa, I know you know the name of this one. And I do too, but I've forgotten. Do you remember the name of this one? I can barely remember it, but it fits, which is really remarkable, because it's an odd, the count is odd instead of even, so it was difficult to put it in. I really like the pumpkin patch. There's a big one not far from where I live in Maple Ridge, and there was one right here as well, and that's what it was called, is Pumpkin Patch Farm. And there's a huge one on the highway into Victoria, and that one I used to love driving by. Everybody would slow down on the highway, because all of a sudden, when all the greenery dies back, I think they make it die back, I don't know how they do that, but all of a sudden the whole field is orange. As before, it would be all green with all the leaves covering the pumpkins, I guess, but when the pumpkins get ripe and they become orange, they just glow. The entire place just glows orange. Oh my, you're such a tease. Now I have to order it. Aw. Dorothy, thank you very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your enthusiasm. Really, it makes a huge difference to me personally and to us as well. Lisa says, I really liked how the bling tree turned out. It was great to finally get it finished. Absolutely. We didn't have it finished before we released it. And then, of course, the picture on the front, it wasn't our usual picture. So I'm really looking forward to creating another picture that will fit on the front and look a little bit more realistic. Beautiful. It looks lovely. Thanks, Lynn. Beautiful and super finishing by Lisa. Absolutely, Ellen. You're right. Waffle Stitch, thank you. I hate it when I can't remember something and words tend to escape me, and I don't think it's Alzheimer's. I've heard recently that people who have menopause or perimenopause or any of the menopausal things, when your estrogen goes down, basically that is called brain fog, and that's when you can't remember and you start panicking and you think it's Alzheimer's. It's really not. It is just because your brain doesn't work on the same way because it loves estrogen apparently. So I'm looking for estrogen filled foods so that I can remember words. Thank you, Lisa. Waffle Stitch. Dorothy says, I love Bling Tree too. It's gorgeous, Lisa. I did that flat fold for tree 1 and we'll do it for this one too. Absolutely. Flat folds are the way to go with these trees. And you can put them one on top of the other with some padding in between. You won't flatten anything. Marty says, my Victoria Sampler work in progress is still my December auction item. 80% done. Yay! Excellent. Excellent, Marty. It'd be really cute to see that one finished. And then you can post a picture of it when it has been auctioned and that it's no longer needed to be a surprise. The other one that I wanted to show you was, was the Sunflower Street. And the reason I want to show you this one is because it's perfect for this time of year, okay? This is August, and this is a time when we have a huge number of sunflowers in this area. And the sunflowers themselves, you can do really easily with this beautiful, dark, golden silk ribbon. And honestly, you can't make mistakes with this. The only thing that is a problem with this silk ribbon, these silk ribbon flowers, is because the Japanese ribbon stitch has to overlap one another. So every time you bring your needle up, you cannot bring it up or go down, but particularly come up in a filled hole. So you have to be very careful that where you come up, no silk ribbon is in the way of your needle, of your slightly blunt tapestry needle. So when you're doing these, yes, it's easy to do. You just have to, with every time you poke through, if you feel resistance, look in the back and bring your needle through those ribbons that are already there, and make sure that you're actually going through the linen, not through a ribbon first. Okay, so don't catch the ribbon in the back, and particularly, and also of course in the front. And makes a huge difference. You can do a lot of stitches that way. So that's my little hint for the day. And then also there's this lovely overdye, which is actually more spring colors, but it has that gold in it, right? And so these colors in here to me are like early autumn, very bright still. We've got a little bit of pink in it, etc. And then there's the autumn looking sunflower street. And then there's the little scene. And this little scene is so typically autumn. This could actually fit in the, this scene could fit in the pumpkin patch farm. It's very similar to in feel, and even some of the elements are part of it as well. This is absolutely, we're fuzzing out here. Let's see if we can bring you back to focus. There we go. That's better. You have to be careful with the focus of this Logitech camera. It's a Brio camera. It's the best they've got, but it still tends to not always work as well as it should. So those are the two autumn themed models that I wanted to show you today. I also want to mention that Dory Davis is doing the 2021 Year in Stitches. And Dory, if you're watching this, I was wondering if you are going to put the date for today, because I noticed you've got 2021 in your previous stitching, and I wonder if the new Year in Stitches will have 2025 in it, because that would be so fun. Every one of the other ones have 2021 in it, but you have to, you're stitching it in this year. Anyway, do that. Tammy. Yeah, that's right. You're just about finishing the lace on Bling 2, which I'm looking forward to because I know you are. You're looking forward to decorating it. And it looks like the kits have started to arrive. So, Dorothy, you've got your work cut out for you to do these lovely, whoop, I almost dropped it on my knee. Okay. These lovely floral biscornu, which I've shown last week and the week before, but it doesn't hurt to show them again. These biscornu, as you all know, are now being sent out to those of you who have ordered it. Not everybody who's in Victoria Sampler Facebook group is going to announce that they got theirs, but thank you for doing so, Dorothy. It made all the difference. These kits will arrive very, very safely, and it looks like they will arrive within a couple of weeks if you're in the States, and even about a week even if you're in the UK or Australia. Will take a little bit longer. I think that's usually 3 weeks. But if you've ordered a kit, great. If you haven't, this is a good chance to do so. Unfortunately, we don't have free shipping anymore this weekend, but that's okay. It doesn't really mean that you couldn't order it anyway. And those of you who are in other parts of the world and you're not in the US or Canada, those of you who are there, you wouldn't have had any free shipping anyway during those times because shipping takes a lot, and you all know that. I know very well when I buy something from Australia, it does take quite a bit of shipping, but it's worth it when it's something that you really want. Susan says, I love both the Bling Tree, but number 2 is special. Only 21 Saturdays till Christmas. I didn't know that. Okay, you make me laugh. Did you count that out? Good for you. Let's see what else, Susan. Guess who's thinking about putting up the trees? I guess you are. Well, 3 is also coming out hopefully in September, so we are looking forward to, all of you are looking forward to that, I hope too. It's the tree is not the same. The tree is more swirls of white, and I don't know, it might appeal to a completely different stitcher. I do like the fact that all the tree, both the first and the second are green, but this one is going to be white, and hopefully you will like it. It's got a white tree with gold decoration all over it and pearls. So hopefully you will love it. Karen, thank you for saying the kit is awesome. Marty, still waiting here? Yep, you're getting it pretty soon. Dorothy, you're in the US and yours came in a week. That is surprising. Absolutely. Enough said. Absolutely. Okay, so I also want to give a shout out to Marcia Buckingham, and she did this gorgeous Thanksgiving. She's actually starting and continuing, and if you're listening to this, Marcia, during a replay or on YouTube, congratulations, gorgeous stitching so far. And obviously you are working with the beads and the heart hanger after you take it off your, I think it's your hoop, I'm not sure, but off your frame anyway. And I never do that. I always do my heart hanger in the frame. And the reason I do that is just for your edification and for anyone else who's listening. If you're doing heart hanger, it's very easy to bunch up the fabric when you're doing the satin stitching. Satin stitching on a frame means that it lies flatter, like all of the cluster blocks will lie flat. Because it's stretched, the linen, then when you're going up and down, you're actually bending the stitch over so that the stitch doesn't look like that, but it looks like that as you are stitching. So I always do the cluster blocks anyway, or any satin stitching to do with it, heart hanger. It's very important to me that you keep it on a frame. So if you love doing heart hanger in your hand, I agree with you completely, doing the needle weaving in your hand. And even that can sometimes be a little less, the tension could be a little off, but if you're used to it, it's absolutely no problem. It's not like a policewoman is going to come and say, don't do it like that. But I do want to recommend doing at least the satin stitching on your frame. And everyone agrees that you can't do your beads until you've finished all the stitching. Just like you said, you can't put the beads on unless everything else is done, and then you put the beads on. And I always love that part where you decorate it. It's just like those trees, you stitch everything and then you decorate it. And that decoration is the fun part of any particular stitching. Let's see, who else has been talking? Can't wait for the third tree. Yay! Susan, this tree sounds exciting. It kind of is. And I'm crossing my fingers that you know how you do when you're creating something. If any of you do any painting or any kind of art whatsoever, that you're starting off with something that is different than anyone else. It's always a little bit scary to me to come out with something that I don't know if it will be, people will like it, will gravitate towards it. I personally absolutely love the colors of white and gold together, so I'm hoping that you will too. Tammy says, looking forward to Bling Tree 3. I'm waiting till later to get the chart. Absolutely. And we will be setting up a kit for that as well. Those of you who are interested in Bling Tree 3, which will be out sometime in September, hopefully early September. Not quite sure if it's the first, but early anyway. And Bling Tree 3 will have a kit to go with it. We've already got all the bling packaged up, right, Lisa? And the linen will be done, and we haven't had the leaflets printed yet because they're not quite laid out yet, but they're coming. So we're on our way to making kits out of those. Limited amount of kits, unfortunately. We can't have too many. And then because we want to be sure that we're going to sell them out before we do any more kits. That's the main reason. So they're very limited. And then we also have a Christmas drum pincushion coming out. So, and that will also be a kit. Also, the same thing, limited edition. Both of those are just yummy. I have to say, I really like the little drum pincushion. Marcia says, I do the cluster blocks in the frame, but always do my cutting and weaving in hand. There you go, Marcia, that's really great. It's a compromise because I think the cutting and weaving, if you have it in the frame, you need to loosen off your frame for sure. But even if you have it in your hand, you can manipulate the scissors way better. I agree with you, Marcia. Well done. And Lisa says, I always do any silk ribbon. Yes, also silk ribbon. Add the beads after all the stitching is done. I forgot about the silk ribbon. You're right. You're welcome, Marty. Yes, all the bling is packaged for the Bling Tree 3 as well as the Christmas drum. There's so many words in there. As well as the Christmas drum pincushion. There we go. I have to slow down. That's my problem. I'm talking too fast. Let's see. Marcia, well done on the Thanksgiving. And and also Dorothy Hartel, who's a different Dorothy altogether. Congrats on your New Jersey heart. Looks really lovely, and I like the fact that you finished it in a way that makes it easy for you. I can't believe it. It is already 10 o'clock, but as you can tell, I've been talking pretty fast. So I could slow down a little bit next time I come on, but then I get excited and I just talk and talk and talk. I assume that you're interested. Tedra says, when will Bling Tree 3 and the drum kits become available for you to purchase? As I said, early in September. Not quite sure if it's going to be right at the beginning, but it will be the early part of September. Just so you know, we're getting excited. Exactly, Karen Dark. And it's good to have you here too. Nice to see your face. It's not your face. I know it's your name, but I see you, and you're not, you're not hiding just because it's early morning for you, Karen. Not until September, exactly. Okay, so we have to do a angel card, and I have to pick it, and I have to make sure that I get the right one. It's just, in my mind, somehow, if I get my mind to it, if I think very hard about the angels, then I'll get the one that is actually the one that we need right now. Okay. Whoa. Yes, I probably need that for sure. I'm too excited. Take time to meditate. It's actually a really good thing to learn how to do. I learned how to do it years and years ago, and every morning as I waken is when I meditate. I find it the easiest way to wake up. It's not like I'm already going in the world. I'm just maybe out of a dream or something like that, and then I realize my thoughts are going, so I let my thoughts just go. I don't try to harness them and make them produce something right away. And it's only 15 minutes that I do that, but I find that if I don't do that, the rest of my day doesn't go as well. So for those of you who don't meditate formally, because I do it lying in bed. I mean, I'm not sitting up like a Buddha. I can't really sit up like a Buddha, and not anymore. But anyway, if you don't do that, then at least let your mind show you how you can let your thoughts just drift by like clouds. And I find that image the best, because when you hold on to the thoughts and try to do something with the thoughts, or you think, oh, I should be doing something like that, then let all the shoulds go, let everything go, and let the thoughts drift across. You can look at them, you can see them, but they're not going to give you a reaction. That's meditation to me. And to me, that actually works very well, whether you're sitting in the proper pose, or whether you are lying in bed, or you're sitting in a bus, in a crowded bus. It can be done at any time. So anyway, take the time to meditate. That's what the angels are saying. It's a mental health thing. It's a mental health break, so your thoughts don't overwhelm you. And I think that's all it is. It's not necessarily religious. It's a great psychological tool to keep you happy and healthy. How is the Harmony Project coming along? It's actually coming along well, but it hasn't improved very much. That's why it's not here. But thank you for asking. Much appreciated, Marty. But unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to really do an awful lot more to it. So I'll show it to you as soon as I do add some more stuff to it. I've left it for now because I'm also involved in, well, I'm writing a book. And I know this sounds weird, but I've also got a pen name on it, so it won't be identified as mine. But if you want, I can share, and in fact, I think I might make some kind of an email list or a group of some sort, so that people can get a free copy of this book. And it's not a needlework book at all. It's actually a book on something that is it's delicate for me, but so it is something that you will find out if you're interested. There you go. And if you are interested, I might make either a Facebook group or some kind of a organization, some way, some social media thing, so that at least I have the people that want to sign up and want to get that free book. They're welcome to do so. And it will be a free ebook, not like a paperback book. I can't afford to do that, but I can definitely let you in on the ebook. So that's what I've been in the process of doing, and I'm actually learning how to do it. So this first book really isn't all that, how can I put it? It's the one I learned on. So it's not as exciting as writing one that I kind of knew what I was doing. Here, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm going to publish it anyway, because that's part of the process, right? And then I will start on another one. So there you go, Marty. Now you know something more about my life. Lisa, I love that card. I'm definitely interested in the book. Exciting. It is exciting. And I'm hoping that it's something that I can continue to do, because there's lots of things that I'd love to write about. And with the help of AI. Now, I'm not writing it all myself. I haven't got the energy or the patience. But with the help of AI, I can definitely guide it into the areas that I want. And I'm very excited to do that. And if you're interested, I might leave a post on our regular group when I'm ready to set it up, so that I'll leave a post there saying if you're interested, and then you can just immediately go over to another group. I sure don't want to muddy the waters here. That's not, unless it's a needlework oriented book, right? Then it's different. I love all books in all forms. Absolutely. Me also. I do indeed. I think Lisa's reading a book right now too, and she often reads one book a year. Right, Lisa? You're not that patient with books. You'd rather see it in video and then stitch, well, because otherwise you're not stitching. And I think that's why you love both of them so much. Stories are always just lovely. So thank you very much for all of your attention. Much appreciated. Don't forget, let's see, I don't know. There's nothing to forget. There's nothing to remember either. I certainly hope that all of you have a good weekend. And Lisa, my heart goes out to you. And that 5 kilometers sounds awfully short. So let's hope that those firefighters know what they're doing, and that they are capable of containing it. That's all that's necessary. Just contain it, you guys. And there's a lot of people that live in Port Alberni. So cross my fingers that things will even out today and tomorrow. Wishing all of the rest of you very, very much a healthy, happy weekend. And I'll see you next Friday. I'll see you next Friday at 9:30 Pacific Daylight Time, as usual, for our Stitch Along Friday live chat. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.